I got my license, and I at that point I wasn't busy. People weren't sitting on my chair. I mean, I'd be sitting there. I was sitting there. I would sit there for days, and maybe have one client a day.
Oh, wow.
And it got stressful, but it was kind of cool because I was able to like hang out with Claudia, Gia's kids, and stuff like that. So it just made it a little more fun, I guess.
Yeah.
She had a restaurant next door, so I was able to just eat.
So did people like book for the appointments, or you just had to wait until somebody to come in and just?
Oh, back at that salon,
Yeah.
it was all walk-ins. It was all
walk-ins.
walk-in. And Gia, she had a lot of Claudia's mom. She had a lot of clients, but they would not want to sit on my chair. And I wasn't really outspoken. I was just like, listen, if they don't want to, I'm not gonna beg them. I'm not gonna. I was never really
Were you
about.
like very shy back then?
Yeah, well, I wasn't really about boasting myself. Like even till now, like I won't talk about it.
won't
If
post
I'm like the gym or whatever, someone talks to me, unless they somehow bring it up, I won't bring it up. Unless I see a client, I'm like, oh, that's a potential client. I'd love to cut his hair. But other than that, I really don't put myself out there. And that's when I decided that I was like, you know what, this is gonna be my career, and I stuck with it, and now I'm pretty busy.
You open your own place?
Yeah, with the help of Claudia though. She pushed me also. I think I would have stayed working there. 'Cause I got comfortable. I got comfortable. I was already building clientele that I needed to get out of there because. I mean, you had all these kids coming from all sorts, like all these small towns. Pulling up in really nice SUVs, getting dropped off by their parents, and their parents were like always skeptical, like, that part of Main Street wasn't the friendliest.
So you know how you said you only had like one client or one customer a day. So have there ever been a client or a customer that has been unsatisfied with your work? Like maybe they don't like it. Like how did you deal with it? I know it's like the first time you're like, oh shit, like you overthink a lot of stuff, and then you start to like regret your things and like like why the fuck did why did I do this? Like
why am I even cutting hair?
Yeah, like why? So you probably like felt bad about yourself or something. So how did you like take that?
So there was a couple people that I remember one person in particular. I won't mention their name. But I remember I had given him a haircut, and he was just like, honestly, why don't you just focus on something else? He's like, I don't think barbering is your thing. And it got to me. It was like somebody that meant nothing, but like just that comment. And I was just like, damn. And I started questioning it, and I was like, all right. And at that time, I remember I had applied for a postal worker. And a CEO, so I was just looking for another job, and even so because I wasn't that busy, and this happened while I wasn't busy, so it even got to me even more. I'm like, all right, I'm not busy, and this guy tells me this, I'm gonna start looking for something, a backup. I started looking for a backup, and then I just held on, and definitely Claudia's mom was like very supportive, and just kind of just told me to stick it through, and she would help me whenever she could.
So like, how did you learn the people how did you learn those skills? Did people train you? Did you watch videos or like? Along the way, I know you weren't.
As long as the craft itself, I'm self-taught. I was self-taught, and so Claudia had convinced me to go to hair shows and elevate my barbering skills. Because this is 7-8 years ago. Now it's different. Now the game's changed. Now barbers are fusing into stylists and doing the blow dryer, adding product and all that. Back then,
I know there's a lot of products, equipment, probably more lights, stuff like that.
So now back then, it was just you're a barber or you're a hairstylist. Now it's like you see people fusing them together and becoming like a men's hairstylist, which is what I consider myself. And
so
she
what
had.
do they specifically do with that?
With what?
With like people actually cut hair and then they go to shows or like.
All right, so with the shows, there's hair shows every year. There's classes every year. Now more than ever, I feel like now if you wanted to start being a barber or a hairstylist, there's no reason why you can't make it, because you have YouTube, you have social media, you have all this content out there that wasn't available to me when I started. I kind of just figured it out.
Hard for you,
I figured it out on my own, but I'm always going to be grateful. I appreciate my grind and the struggle and everything, because it made me who I am.
That's the real grind right there. I know many people right now, like that's why I try to tell people to take this opportunity to like go on YouTube, go on Google, search it. Because I know that many people want answers. But it's right there on the internet. And I feel like people gotta take that, and I feel like I'm lucky enough to even start doing this and actually start putting content. I'm pretty sure for you it was hard back then to even look up like how to do this. Like
there wasn't much. And that's like a few years ago that there was more content out there. But so with the hair shows, you kind of just go and then they'll have classes. They'll have booths. Every company has a booth, and you can either buy products or try their products. And then there's barber battles now too. That started a while ago. I remember at my first barber battle, Claudia pushed me to do it, and I went, and I didn't win, but it was I broke a shell that day. I was so I felt a lot more confident. I'm like, oh wow, this is easy. I had pushed it for 2 years before I first heard about it, before I actually decided to do it. I think one of those things is like self-doubt. I have a lot of guys that reach out to me and that they want to be an apprentice and they want to do this, they want that, but I feel like most people kind of want it handed to them. So I tell them like, hey, listen, do this and this. I'll tell them, hey, go on YouTube. I had classes, come to my classes, stay up on it, follow me on Instagram. And I'm not gonna hold everybody by their hand. And if they do those things that I tell them, then I take them seriously. But if not, like I feel like everyone wants to be successful. Everyone wants to be great, but no one wants to put in the hard work.
I think if they're impatient, I guess. I feel like you have to look at the long term. Because I know it took you a while to open this place and get experience, and people gotta realize. I think it takes probably go to 5 or 10 years to be successful, and
or maybe less. It just all depends. I mean, you could make it happen in 2 years if you really put the hard work.
Like you said, it's all about the work you put in, and I feel like also the talent that you have and the passion. So like if you're not putting the work every day, it's gonna be kind of difficult to get what you want. You know? So.
And then one thing too, you could have the talent, but if you're not putting in the work, it's worthless. As opposed to somebody that's like hungrier, lacks talent, but their hunger takes them to that next level because they really want it.
True. But I feel like also passion, right? Because if you don't have a passion, then they're gonna give up really, really easily.
That's
what I'm assuming. Because if people don't have passion for it, they're gonna give up within a couple of months or a couple of years.
And
after that.
So this became a passion. I never thought I was going to be a barber, a men's hairstylist. I remember back then I wanted to either be a stockbroker. I wanted to be a DJ. And then I really loved riding my bike, so I wanted to be a pro BMXer. So that was like, if I look back, what I really wanted to do when I was little, it was that.